I am your host, Tassos Kalimos. Happy to be joining you guys for another edition of College Football Best Bets here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Guys, Conference Championship Week is here. The regular season is behind us. It's in the rearview mirror, and Conference Championship Week is officially upon us. Guys, welcome back to the show. Happy Friday, happy weekend, beginning of the weekend to everybody. We've got a great slate of games here, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about that slate today. I do want to give a quick apology, guys, if I sound a little different. I have been battling an illness all week. I was actually debating if I was going to be able to do this video or not, but however, it is Conference Championship Week. I felt like there's no way I couldn't make a video with Conference Championship Week. We're in the postseason now of college football. It's way too important. So I'm powering through here, so apologies, guys, if I sound a little different and my voice is coming off a little bit weird. I am doing my best. I'm going to try and keep this show on the shorter side just because I don't know how long before I lose my voice. I sound like I just smoked a pack of cigarettes before I got on this stream. I have never smoked a day in my life, but I sound like I just ripped a whole pack on Marlboro Reds, and it's only going to get worse, guys. So try my hardest here. I'm going to try and power through, give you my picks for this weekend. Let's not waste any more time. Let's not fuck up my voice any more than I already am. Let's dive into the picks. Starting off, guys, we have what is probably the most important game of the Conference Championship slate. Pac-12 championship game, number 5 ranked Oregon against number 3 ranked Washington. It's being talked about, and it's pretty much understood that whoever wins this game is going to the college football playoff. It's an automatic ticket to the playoff, whoever wins, whether it be Oregon or Washington. This is an automatic ticket to the college football playoffs. And look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's a pretty tough spot to bet here because the Oregon line continues to jump. It's now up to -10 at the time of recording. To me, especially considering that Oregon lost the first matchup, I know Washington, a lot of things are factoring in here. Washington has not looked as impressive post that Oregon win. They've had a lot of close calls, a lot of ugly games. Oregon, on the other hand, have been rolling since that loss. So I understand why Oregon's favored, but 10 points is a lot. It's a lot of points for me. I don't like it. However, I also can't confidently take Washington here, plus 10. It's just such a tough spot. I'm going to go ahead and take the under here in this game, surprisingly. We're going to get that for under 65.5 on most sports books. Now, the over-under was 67 the first game. It did hit. It was 36-33, so it hit. It was a total of 69. Only 4 points higher than what this total is, or 3 points higher, I should say. I just think that was a high-scoring game. I don't think this game will be as high-scoring. I think this is the second time they played. The defenses are going to be more accustomed to what to be expected, right? They're going to make adjustments based on what they saw the first time around. I can see this being a little bit more of a defensive battle. Not to say there won't be points. I think this will be a close game in terms of the total. We'll get close to that 65.5 number. I think it'll just go just below that. Again, I think this will be more of a defensive battle than the first game was. So I like the under here, 65.5. I'm also going to go ahead and take Washington here, plus 6.5 first half spread. The first time these teams played back in October, I'm sorry, guys, I'm trying here. I know my voice is sounding crazy. Washington was leading at halftime, 22-18. It was a 4-point game. So they were leading. They had a pretty solid first half, and then the second half, they stayed solid. I think Washington will keep this game close in the first half, and if Oregon pulls away, it's going to be in the second half. I think Washington will come out sharp to begin with. If you're the opposite, Oregon -6.5 is currently plus 100 for a reason. So that's going to be my two picks for this game here. Give me the under 65.5, and I'm going to go ahead and take Washington first half spread plus 6.5. All right, guys, moving along to Saturday, we have the Big 12 championship game. And real quick, kind of sad to realize that for a lot of these teams, this is it. Like, Big 12 championship game here, Oklahoma State and Texas. For Texas, this is it. This is their last Big 12 championship game before they move on to the SEC. That Pac-12 championship game, that's the last Pac-12 championship game before those teams move along. So this is kind of the last year of Conference Championship Week that's going to be like this really forever. I mean, this is kind of sad to think about, guys. I just kind of thought about that while I was recording and looking through my picks. Like, this is it. This is the end. This week is officially the end of an era for these conferences. And I'm sure some people are excited, and to an extent, I'm excited about the conference realignment. It'll be interesting to see some of these programs like Texas, for example, playing in the SEC. It should be interesting to watch. But I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss the rivalries. I'm gonna miss the way the conferences were aligned before. So celebrate it, guys, while you still can. But for this game, the spread's too high for me, so I'm going to go ahead and take Texas team total over 34.5. I don't think this Oklahoma State defense can keep up with Texas's offense. Oklahoma State, their last 3 games, they've given up 30 or more points. Now it's 34.5 as a total, but Texas, they are one of the better offensive teams in the country. I almost took the actual over because Oklahoma State can also put up points. I feel a little bit more comfortable, though, here with the Texas team total. I think Texas is going to roll. I think they might hang 40 on this Oklahoma State team. So give me Texas over 34.5 team total here in the Big 12 championship game. And I think Texas is going to roll and absolutely dominate Oklahoma State here. Cruising along here, guys. Again, I'm sorry. Typically, I like to give a little more analysis and go a little bit more into my picks. But again, my with my throat and everything going on with my sickness, trying to cruise through here to get through all these picks. So moving along here, SEC championship game. This is, in my opinion, the second best game of this conference championship slate. We have number 1 ranked Georgia against number 8 ranked Alabama. For Bama, their whole season is on the line here. If they win, very interesting. SEC championship plus a win against Georgia. This could be the win that gets them in the college football playoff. They lose, and obviously it's a moot point. I'm going to go here with the over 54.5. And it's funny because when you think of Alabama and Georgia, you think defense. You think like, oh, defensively they're usually stout on both for both these teams defensively. But when these teams, three of the last 4 matchups, this over of 54.5 have cashed. Right? I mean, they've been high-scoring affairs between these two teams. Even last year's matchup, which the total finished at 51, 50 plus is typically the line the last 4 or 5 meetings between these two teams. So I like the over here 54.5. I don't think these defenses are as good as they used to be. I don't think their offenses are as good as they used to be either, but I think that the fact that their defenses are lower, I expect points. I think Georgia wins this game, honestly. I know Bama, a lot of people want to hang their hope on Bama. I'm not confident enough to bet the spread because I do think Bama will kind of keep it interesting and close. But I do think that Georgia walks away here with the win and the number 1 seed going into the college football playoff. So I like the over here, though, 54.5 points. I see a lot of points being scored. We've seen both these teams put up big numbers all season long. I bet a lot of overs for both Bama and Georgia and made a good amount of money betting overs on both of these teams. And now that they're playing together, it just makes sense to keep rolling with that. So I'm going with the over here. 54.5 in the SEC championship game should be a very good game. I do think Georgia wins, but again, I just don't see the value in -5.5 or -6, whatever you get it at. I think it's going to be a 3-point game, honestly. I think it's going to be very close. So I am going to lean here with the total, stay away from the spread. Moving along here, guys, ACC championship game, number 14 ranked Louisville versus number 4 ranked Florida State. And I see the line, it's pretty small, right? I've seen a lot of people picking Louisville. A lot of the public money is on Louisville here. Public sharps seem to be aligned on Louisville winning this football game, but I'm not sold. Florida State honestly proved a lot. They don't have Jordan Travis, which is obviously why if Jordan Travis was playing, this would be a lock for Florida State to win this game. But obviously Jordan Travis, his tragic injury, he is out. I was really impressed with their win. I had Florida last week against Florida State. They proved me wrong. Had a really nice win against the Gators in the Swamp. Not an easy place to play. I know Florida, they're not having the best season. It's not like this is a prime Florida team, but they're still solid, and they proved something to me a little bit. I was worried about them going to that game. It still wasn't the prettiest win, but they still won by 9. They covered the spread. Louisville coming off a pretty bad loss to Kentucky, and Kentucky's a solid team. But let's not act like Louisville is this crazy, elite team. I'm going to go Florida State here, -1.5. I'm going to roll Florida State. I don't. It's tough because I don't think they should be in the college football playoff now, and it's not because of let me rephrase here. They should be in the college football playoff. I don't want them in it, though, right? Without Jordan Travis, I just don't see the point. It feels like one of these games where it's like they're going to play Georgia and they're going to get blown out in the first round, and it's going to be a waste of a national semifinal. I'd much rather see a Pac-12 team in there or, some other team. I just really don't want to see Florida State without Jordan Travis. And let's be fair, even with Jordan Travis, Georgia probably blows them out. But especially with their quarterback out, I don't think Florida State is going to make any noise in the college football playoff. But they do deserve to be there. I guess they've had a solid year. And I do think they're going to win this game and win the ACC championship and probably get in just to go get blown the hell out by Georgia in the national semifinals. So give me Florida State here, -1.5 against the Louisville Cardinals in the ACC championship game. Let's wrap this thing up here with the Big Ten championship game. And guys, I'm not going to overthink this one way too much. I'm going Michigan -21.5. The line's going to be different depending on your sportsbook. I got it at 21.5. I've seen it go up to 22. I've seen even some people get it at 23. I have it at 21.5. We've seen this before, right? We've seen this before. I mean, Iowa, they get there because of the division they're in, but Michigan is like beyond the better team here. I mean, the last time these two guys met in the Big Ten championship, granted it was 2 years ago, Michigan won 42-3. They've dominated this rivalry of late. I don't buy much into Iowa. Like, this game is kind of useless. Michigan's going to win. It's not a matter if they're going to win. It's a matter of how much. I do think they're going to cover the spread. I think Michigan will roll here. They're going to roll, especially because it could affect their seeding, right? If obviously the win is the win. But if they blow Iowa out, especially depending on what happens with the Georgia-Bama game, they could make the argument for them being the 1 seed. So a lot of that has to come into play, I guess. So there's some style points. So I do think Michigan cover the spread here, -21.5. Again, apologies, guys, if I don't feel like myself. I know the energy. I tried to keep the energy up. I tried my best. I'm sorry for my voice. I know I sound a little weird, a little different. Apologies if I rushed through some picks. I tried to go through most of the major conference championship games. I know I left a few out. But thank you guys for sticking along all season long. I'll be with you guys through bowl season, through college football playoffs, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for watching. And until next week, hope you're all winners. Hope you cash your bets. Enjoy the week. Enjoy conference championship week. I will see you all later. God damn.